happening on June 1st? Trying to see if I'm live right now. And I cannot see myself on the book, Facebook, or what's the other? All right, let me try the other one. Can you see me and hear me? If anyone's watching? Oh! Boom. I see myself on the tube, YouTube. Oh. And now, see if I can Facebook it up. Thank you. I see. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's pause this. Let's get some other background music. Let it go. Hey. How you doing? Awesome. I'm here just for a little bit before I head into the lab, the Light Shine Lab. If anyone is interested in seeing if you want to just get to know your intuition a little bit more, the Light Shine Lab is having hold on, what are they having? A group, a development circle, and I think it's so awesome. I think it's being hosted by Julius. Just become a member of Light Shine Lab. It's free on Facebook. And if I can see their events, I can tell you a little bit more. Development Circle, Sunday at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's by Julie. And it's kind of fun. Just come out, even if you want to just learn your own intuition, not to do anything crazy with it, but just to get some thoughts. Maybe you've been thinking about things, or maybe like you were thinking about somebody and then they show up. It's kind of like that, but there's a Zoom for it. Definitely check it out. Light Shine Lab on Facebook. Of course, I'm on there tonight at 8 p.m. However, I want to read something. Oops. Let's do it this way. I want to read, actually, let me go back here first. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Oh. How you doing? Actually, let me change this banner to, let's do this. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate every single one of you who come out and see me every Thursday, because it is, it's interesting. I have fun doing this. And or if you come out every Thursday, it's great. If you watch the replay, pardon the replay, so many people, send a minute, turn the music up, all that. You're gonna see this in the future. Thank you so much, because it means a ton. It means a ton. I have two devices going on today because I'm turning up everywhere. Yeah, but I do want to read something. Let me go ahead. This is something that I wrote a long time ago. This was years. What year are we in? 2024. So this may have been 2019, 2018. I'm not quite sure, but it's an article that I wrote for a magazine here in Georgia. They severely edited it, which means they cut a lot out because it was a little controversial. But I want to read it because I think that it's time. I kept it secret, kind of quiet for a while. And no longer. I can actually tell you when I think I can tell you when I wrote it. Let's see. Heck, maybe I can't. I have a date somewhere. I just have to find it. But again, it was filed ago. So I think what's happening right now, with what's happening right now, this is a good time to read it. And this is with complete love. Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the polar trees. This song called Strange Fruit was written in 1937 by Abdel Meeropol and performed by Billie Holiday. The song was in protest to the lynching and murder of Black Americans. We are close to 100 years later, and we are still singing the same song. Thank you so much. We are still singing the same song. Why? Why have we been protesting and crying over bloodshed for centuries as Americans? America's core values include, but are not limited to, slavery, corruption, false imprisonment, racism, fear-based religion, and a selected democratic system that was founded by England's criminals. The British that were sent to Plymouth Rock and other colonies were criminals, which is why it was so easy for them to slaughter and enslave nations of natives, Tainos, Africans, South Americans, and indigenous people worldwide. America has bred a society of sociopaths and narcissists who are incapable of having empathy for any being, human or otherwise. In 1692, an Afro-Latina slave born in an Arawak village in South America was sold to a man named Samuel Paris in Boston. Her name was Tituba, and she was the first person accused in prison and imprisoned in the Salem witch trials. Tituba's trial was first, and after being beaten by her owner into lying on two other women, she did so to save her own life. So this was the first trial, and Tituba, as you know, was literally in that book. I can't remember what it was. If it was the Scarlet or the other one, but she was a real person, real person. Tituba was innocent, but she spent years in jail until she was bought into slavery again. So Tituba was a slave, was forced into lying on two other women for the witch trials in Salem, which were real, spent time in prison, and then was bought back into slavery. Okay. Women as well. Okay. There weren't many men witches that were killed and brought into this. So just okay. I'm back. Crispus Attucks was an African and Native American male born into slavery, escaped and worked as a seaman on trading ships. While Boston was still under British rule, an argument ensued and quickly escalated to Crispus Attucks being shot and killed by a British soldier. His murder made him the first casualty of the Boston Massacre, hence the start of the American Revolution in 1770. John Adams, the second U.S. president, defended the British soldiers that murdered Attucks, along with 5 others, stating that the colonists were an unruly mob that forced them to open fire. It was later revealed by Samuel Adams, a U.S. founding father, that Crispus Attucks was simply leaning on a stick, and that's quotes, when the gunshots erupted. Since before the United States was set free from British rule, Blacks have always been portrayed as evil criminals, test subjects, and even animals. And still fighting for our freedom to be American. Blacks were used by force for testing drugs and medical procedures because it was believed that Blacks could not feel pain. Black Americans were also bred in the same way as dogs to create the strongest and the best slaves. We have been protesting for over 400 years in a system that was solely created for straight, white, free men. Protesting has led us to laws that protect those who have murdered, tortured, and abused. This America that we live in is in our DNA. We have such a lack of empathy and are so desensitized that it took watching a man's soul get choked out of him for a worldwide protest to take place. How can we honestly believe that change can happen to a system within a system that was never meant for us? I dedicate this to my brothers and sisters that have had complete generations wiped out due to the Holocaust, the Khmer Rouge era, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the communist invasion in Tibet, Native American massacre of 1622, gasoline baths of Mexicans, the stolen generations of Australia, the Cuban Revolution, the slaves who were used as breeders, slaves who were used for medical experimentation, and the political prisoners who will never see the light of day because not believing in the American system. I am a proud descendant of Native Americans, African slaves, and General Robert E. Lee, believe it or not. By blood, by the little, whatever that little DNA swab testing is. Yeah. So I had written this and I actually left some out because I forgot I'm on live. And, I don't want to get canceled too much because if you go against, geez, not even go against, if you tell the truth for some reason, people can't handle it. We cannot handle truth. Until recently, though, because things are shifting, there is an entire shift that is happening. And people are being caught. But truth is truth. Why is it that even when we tell the truth, regardless of how much it hurts, so it hurts. We get hurt all the time, but tell the truth. However, what we've been through in this country, we have developed to exactly what is happening today. I'm just going to mention two people. I kind of didn't want to mention them, but I think I have to mention them to get this point across. Today, we have a potential president, he was a president and he may be a president, found guilty of 34 counts of felony. 34 felony counts, 34 counts of felonies, I guess, plural. And he probably won't do jail time, maybe a little community service. We also, but he has no record. He has no criminal record. Why? Because he's never been caught. No criminal record, right? So then we have somebody else who his name is I believe Sean Combs, otherwise known as Puffy, otherwise known as Diddy. He's gonna get it. There is no doubt that when the justice system prevails, he's gonna get it. And who knows how many counts of felonies he's gonna have against him. Maybe 34, maybe 134. I don't know. Will there be the same? And he has no criminal record either. See, this is where I am. We have these two individuals that are very, very wealthy and have a certain amount of power where they live, right? And especially in both of their industries. And we have counts on top of counts of felonies. I think I'll go to jail for a misdemeanor. Forget the felony. Give me a quick misdemeanor. Lock that heifer away. Lock up the key. Throw away the key. We're done. You know this. And this is going to happen for not just me, a few of us. Hey, Lil, sorry I didn't have the comments up. Unnamed people. So when one day we are able to face truth and accept it, and it goes so deep. So imagine, right? 400 or 500 years ago, you had these people here and they're being told by their government that what they're doing is okay, right? They're criminal. Go over there and do what you got to do to survive. Okay. So now you have generations that feel it's okay to enslave people. Can I say the R word? Or RAPE? I don't know if I could say that on the whatever. Or SA, right? That's another one. Or treat them like animals and sell them. So they're thinking it's okay. There is none of that discernment of, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do this. Now, some people did have the discernment, 100%. Okay, and we stand by them. And this is all of those, and there's so much more, but if you're told this for generations, it is now in your DNA. So now we're in 2024, and you have these guys that were told by any means necessary. You do what you need to do by any means necessary. No holds barred. So, any means necessary: lying, cheating, beating, R-ing, essaying, uh, 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 putting people in jail that shouldn't have been in jail, having people take the blame, right? Offing, right? Unaliving some of the crew because it's by any means necessary. And that's what they believe. So now we, healthy, normal people, want these people to take accountability. Shame on you. You did that. Take accountability. How are they supposed to? I'm not justifying what they did. It is wrong. But we as a people need to wake up a little bit. And how are we 500 years, 400 years of exactly what is happening today? Like, it is possible that we are going to have a known criminal president. Because I'm pretty sure some of them old presidents were criminals too. We just, hey, they're president. They have whatever they can, we don't, oh no, never. Is it a surprise though? Is it really a shock? Am I the only one who's like, duh? This is exactly what was going to happen. If you could just look, forget the details, take a step back, fly out of the last 500 years and see exactly what was happening, right? Even the celebration of a gentleman named Christopher Columbus. We celebrated, I'm not going to say we celebrated, but we as in America celebrated this man and his achievement when we all know they pillaged, enslaved, killed, and completely massacred the Taino people that were in the Caribbean. And we celebrated that. And now it's a shock that we're facing what we're facing. Seriously? It can't be just me. It really, like, I know it can't be just me. And I can't expect, right, the average person to really be healthy when this stuff is clearly in our DNA. The reason, my mother has done those DNA swabs that they do and they see who you're related to. Because of that, we actually found my cousin, her niece, long lost, have found other family members, but have confirmed, because the family knows, family talks, right, that Robert E. Lee is a great, 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 great grandfather, but it was not by consent. Okay. There was no consensual relationship between him and a slave girl. Okay. It happened. And that name Lee is actually passed down. My aunt's middle name is Lee. It's in my DNA too. And Robert E. Lee goes all the way back to Scotland. We went back and back and back and back, and some Scottish somebody somewhere, some big Scottish person that I think was in a book, like a play was written about this person. That's who he's related to. So now, this stuff is in my DNA too. They are my ancestors as well. Those of you who know my mother, my grandmother, and it wasn't too far removed. Okay. We're not talking like thousands of years ago or even hundreds of years ago. Well, maybe now it's hundreds of years ago, but it wasn't that long ago. This stuff was popping. This stuff was happening. But they are very fair. And then there's interracialness, way back then, 100, maybe 200 years the most, unconsented. So I'm just saying to say, I'm saying all of this to say, don't be shocked. It's kind of a wake up call. Um, Soon I'll be doing a campaign relationships. We're gonna do a 4 week little course on relationships, and I'm gonna it's gonna hurt. You know, some folks it's just gonna hurt. But I think it's time for us to wake up. We've been sugarcoating a lot of mess for a very long time. And I'm kind of over it. I'm over it. I've been sugarcoating a lot because I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt feelings. But it seems like, which I'm learning now, that I can't expect anything more from anybody else than what they've been taught. So it sounds like it makes sense, right? Like, duh, but it makes sense, but when we really start thinking about traumatic pasts, if we go into someone's past, their trauma, their unhealed trauma, or trauma that they don't even know about, and now we're meeting these people, we are having relationships with these people, and want to know why they're crazy, why we can't get along, why this person makes me flip. Why does this person bring out this anger in me? Why do they bring out my narcissism? So we're going to go into that in a little bit. Flyers will be released in a little bit and soon. Yeah, though. And we like to get upset. We like to get angry when somebody says something about us, right? But truth is truth. Bottom line. And frankly, I'm getting to a space in my life where I want to be living truth. I want to live in truth, and I want the people around me and my circle to be in that same place. And if there's some delusion there or some falseness, you know, the stories that we tell ourselves. I tell myself stories. Oh, I'm in this because this is the lesson I need to learn. Is it the lesson? Absolutely. Do I need to sit there and keep taking it and taking it and taking it? Absolutely not. I'm not doing it. And you shouldn't either. So we're going to move into that because and this is just an example. The other day we were having a conversation and I we were comparing when we would get in trouble or whatever when we were younger. So I didn't really grow up with any other children in the home. So I didn't really get in trouble. Once in a while, I would get in trouble. My dad would try to punish me, didn't really work. But I really didn't do anything to get in trouble. So I never had to talk about my troubles, never had to talk about my feelings. I never had to express that, never really had to communicate. Well, the other person that was talking grew up in a household with 30 people. So when they would get in trouble or the siblings or cousins would start fighting, the adults would put them in a corner and say, you all need to talk it out or else you got to stay in this corner until you talk it out. So we were discussing the differences. My way of growing up of not speaking at all, unhealthy. Being stuck in a corner with a person that you just fought with and now you got to make up, even if it's fake, not really the best option either. And then what if you're the child who needs to process what happened? Not being forced with the person that literally just but to walk away. Let me process what happened. Let me go through my own process. They weren't given that opportunity either. However, now we have these traumas, right? These traumas that are in our DNA from years and years and years and years and years ago, because I think all of us right now, majority of us are mutts. meaning we have all types of DNA in us. It is very rare that, especially if you're American, that someone is pure such and such. Maybe a little bit now because everybody from the world is coming over and they're Americans, but it is extremely rare. Even, for instance, my Dominican ex-husband is from the Dominican Republic. He's Dominican, but to swab his DNA, and you will see indigenous, you will see African and Spaniard. So we're just a blend of beauty, but that stuff, that trauma is in our DNA. And it sure does, because it gets passed right through the umbilical cord. We were also having a discussion about someone's mom who had trauma with her dad and completely stopped talking to her father. Didn't even introduce her children to her dad. You know what type of trauma that is? What type of trauma this lady went through. I feel for her. I don't know what she went through, but I just feel it, and I feel for her and her unspoken trauma. Her unhealed trauma is now passed down to her children without even her knowing. Without even her knowing. All of us are dealing with it. How many things happen to us that we can't talk about? Never mind the past generations, because that's what it was. You better not talk about it. You better shut your mouth and keep going to work, right? Cry in the corner, get over it. Let's do this. Stand in the corner with your abuser until you work it out. You're not leaving this corner until it's done. That's where we are. Unfortunately, that is where we are. And the discussions are being had, and we're going to start having them so we can move into a different place. We need to move. It is the era. It is the dawn. No, we are in Aquarius. We're in Aquarius now. It's a wrap. This is it. This is it. We are here for the taking, and we're going to do it. We're all going to do it. So look out for the flyers. It's going to be called Campaign Relationships. We're going to get into it. We're really going to get into it because, I'm crazy. It'll probably be on Monday nights, either at 7 or 8 o'clock, not sure yet. We're going to do 4 Mondays in a row because Loving Me has completed and my 101 has completed. And they were such a success again, which I will re-up, let y'all know. But I'm going to head over to the Light Shine Lab. I thank you all. Let me go ahead and stop this. That was 27 minutes. Oh, I have memory. I'll see y'all next Thursday. If you're not part of the Light Shine Lab, if you are part of the Light Shine Lab, I will see you over in the Light Shine Lab. I love y'all so much. I love you so absolutely much. I really, really do. And thank you. Bye.